WandaVision is the MCU's first of many TV shows and stars Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany. It follows Wanda Maximoff and Vision as a television series married couple who begin to realize not everything is as it seems. Many people were excited about WandaVision. This was a highly anticipated show for tons of MCU fans. For myself, while I enjoy some of the movies that these characters are in, I never personally cared that much about Wanda Maximoff or Vision. They never had their own movies. They were just thrown into Avengers Age of Ultron as well as Civil War and the other two big Avengers movies. Outside of that, though, neither character really had anything else going for them since they didn't have their own films. So personally speaking, my expectations for WandaVision weren't nearly as high as they were for other people. With that being said, now that the show is officially over since we had the series finale on Friday, I can say with full confidence that from the start of the show to the end of the show, my opinion didn't change. I didn't go into the show with high expectations and wasn't really anticipating the show that much. And leaving the show after its finale, I'm kind of happy I wasn't that excited about it because this show by no means blew me away. I found this show very average from beginning to end. When you add up all 9 episodes, this show is pretty average. Of course, some episodes are a lot better than others, but over the course of the entire series, even if you have a really good episode, it doesn't necessarily make up for one of the not so great episodes. The series doesn't have 4 or 5 incredible episodes that are enough for me to say this show is absolutely amazing. For the most part, this show never goes above and beyond what you are initially expecting it to do. For me to truly give my in-depth thoughts on WandaVision, I have to go through all 9 episodes. Thankfully, some of the episodes are really similar, like the first 3, so I won't have to talk about all of them individually. But if you guys have not seen WandaVision yet, go ahead, watch the series first because I will be going through some spoilers, so watch the series first and then come back and watch my review of the entire show. So I will bunch the first 3 episodes together because they all feel relatively similar. All 3 follow Wanda and Vision stuck inside an old-fashioned TV series. They all pay homage to older TV shows from the 1960s and 70s and even 50s, like the Dick Van Dyke Show, for instance. The plots of the first 3 episodes are plots you would see straight out of a sitcom. I've never been the biggest fan of sitcoms. I do like sitcoms from the 90s, like Seinfeld, Full House, and Step by Step. Outside of the 90s, though, I've never liked sitcoms that much. I don't find them that funny. The laugh track gets kind of annoying, but I did find it funny how they utilized the laugh track in the first couple episodes of WandaVision. That definitely added more laughs from me. Even when it wasn't supposed to be that funny, they still used a laugh track, and therefore I was laughing hysterically even when I should not have been. But since these first 3 episodes follow their own individual sitcom-like plots, there really is nothing else much more to them than what they are as you see in the episodes themselves. The plot of these episodes don't connect whatsoever to the main story of WandaVision except for a few small pieces here and there where you question the sanity of Wanda and you wonder whether or not she realizes that this is a fictional reality. So because of that, if I were to rewatch the entirety of WandaVision, I would completely skip over the first 3 episodes since their plots have nothing to do with the rest of the series and the main plot of the TV show. The best part about these episodes, if you do want to go back and watch and enjoy them, it's how they do pay homage to some old TV sitcoms. There's a lot of Easter eggs from those TV shows. Easily the best part of the first 3 episodes, especially if you're watching the show for the first time, is how we don't know what exactly is going on. Wanda and Vision are stuck inside old TV show sitcoms, and we have no idea why. This led to a lot of fan theories. I listened to a lot of them, trust me, and I really enjoy stuff like that, trying to solve the mystery that is given to us and not knowing where or how it's going to end until the very end of the show. That kind of stuff has always intrigued me. I love unraveling mysteries. But the fourth episode is the one where we finally start getting answers. We're introduced to Monica Rambeau, the daughter of Rambeau, who we saw in Captain Marvel. We also get Jimmy Woo, as well as the reintroduction of Darcy Lewis, who we last saw in Thor: The Dark World. I never minded her character, so seeing her back in this TV series was great. The best part about this episode is how we are actually granted answers. Maybe we were given the answers a little bit too soon, but at least they didn't keep egging us on. That would have eventually led to more fan theories, and that would have pissed more people off. So thankfully, they did give us some answers in episode 4. That's why this episode was better than the first 3, in my opinion. The 5th episode is somewhat of a mix of the first 3 episodes and the 4th episode, but what makes this episode truly great is the ending. That's because Evan Peters makes his debut in the MCU. I was so freaking happy when I saw Evan Peters, Quicksilver, from the X-Men movies. Some of my favorite superhero movies of all time. I just reviewed those movies recently, so if you have not watched those reviews yet, go back and watch them because you'll see just how much I love Evan Peters as Quicksilver. Best casting choice decision of those newest X-Men movies. I love this guy, and I was so happy to see him here. The 6th episode is the Halloween one. This episode was fine. It didn't really do much for me. We got Evan Peters in the entirety of the episode, so that was great. That was the best part of this episode, but outside of that, nothing really happened of any large magnitude in this episode besides the fact that it leaves you with a cliffhanger at the very end for episode 7. To be honest, I completely forgot what happened in episode 7, but after doing some research again, I realized that this was the episode where Monica Rambeau gets her powers. That was the best scene in the entire episode. And we also learned that Wanda and Vision's intrusive neighbor, Agnes, aka Agatha Harkness, was behind a lot of what was going on behind the scenes in the show. As it turns out, Agnes was the show's main villain when this reveal happened. I just did not care. We got a musical number that was somewhat catchy called Agatha All Alone. Okay. But I was willing to give Agatha a chance in the final 2 episodes to prove herself as a great villain. Now let me tell you guys that a lot of people I know watched episode 8 before I got the chance the day it came out, and they all told me this episode is incredible, it's amazing, crazy, this and that. Everything wonderful you want to hear about an episode before you jump right back into a TV show. Then I watched the episode, and I got the same feeling that I got after watching many other WandaVision episodes before. That feeling, you ask? Well, I was very underwhelmed. I mean, the only episode that left me super excited for the rest of the show was episode 5, and then in episode 6, they dropped the ball with the entire idea that got me super excited at the end of episode 5 to begin with. And then the rest of the show kind of does the same thing, including episode 8. We learn a few more things about Wanda and Vision's past, but most of this episode was more of what we already knew about the 2 characters. We already knew that Wanda lost her parents and brother. We knew that she fell in love with Vision. That's what this episode shows us. Things we already knew about, but this time around, it shows us instead of telling us. So I thought to myself, maybe episode 9 will save the day. It will be a truly great finale. Maybe we'll see an appearance from Magneto or Doctor Strange. Somebody cool. We need something to invigorate this entire series with energy. Maybe episode 9 can save the show for me. But unfortunately, the 9th episode might have been the worst episode of the entire series. It was formulaic, predictable, and an overall below average episode. Once again, we ended an MCU title with a fight sequence. The fight between Sword Vision and the TV series version of Vision was solid. It was alright. Nothing to write home about, though. I'm mainly upset that the MCU killed off Vision again, even though they killed him off in Avengers Infinity War. And in this final episode, after Vision fights off against White Vision or Sword Vision, he reprograms that guy, and now he's back to the old Vision, the one that we all know. So by doing that, it's pretty obvious that Vision is not dead. And so why does the show kill him off at the very end of the episode, even though we know that the Sword version of Vision will end up being the real version of Vision whenever Wanda appears again? I just hate how they keep teasing the death of Vision, even though the guy will never die probably because he's a robot and you can just piece them back together. And remember how I said I was really excited to see Evan Peters in the MCU as the new Quicksilver? Maybe this would open doors to the multiverse? Well, as it turns out, at the end of the series, Evan Peters is not actually Quicksilver. He's just some random guy named Ralph Boner. Seriously, to say the least, they dropped the ball with Evan Peters in this TV series. This could have opened doors to the multiverse, brought back all of the X-Men we loved, maybe Michael Fassbender and James McAvoy as their characters from those movies. But no, instead of actually giving the fans what they wanted out of Evan Peters as Quicksilver, they just made a joke about a boner. And a few other things. Agatha Harkness, her character, the villain that she played, didn't really have much motivation besides her wanting Wanda's powers. That's her only motivation for being the TV show's main villain. He could have written a better villain than that. That was pretty weak. Not to mention that at the end of the TV show, Wanda kept all of these people hostage. They are finally relieved of their mind games. And you realize that Wanda did some pretty messed up things. She tortured these people. She kept these people in this town for God knows how long. And yet there are no repercussions for her character. She's just able to leave scot-free of any kind of whipping. But somehow Hayward, the guy that's in charge of S.W.O.R.D., gets arrested for his actions. How the heck does that work out? Why does he get arrested but Wanda doesn't? Can you please explain that to me? Okay, you guys might think I hate WandaVision. I don't hate this show. I think it's an average TV show. I feel like some of the episodes were really good. They were entertaining. They left us with a lot of mystery. We got Evan Peters. I know they dropped the ball with that, but at least we got to see the guy in the MCU. That was cool. And also, a lot of the performances in the show were really good. I enjoyed some of the action sequences. There were definitely some good parts of the TV series, as well as how they paid homage to older sitcoms from the 1950s, 60s, 70s, and so on and so forth. But my main gripe with the show is how they dropped the ball more times than once. This could have opened doors to things that would have really excited fans, but at the end of the show, I felt like I just watched another MCU movie that's really average. That's all this show left me with, but hey, at least we get Falcon and Winter Soldier next. That show should be really awesome. I'm giving WandaVision a C+. Alright, for those of you who also happen to check out WandaVision on Disney Plus over the last 2 months, be sure to let me down below in the comment section what your thoughts are of it. Are you guys excited for what's to come next for Wanda and Vision, or do you feel like the show was somewhat disappointing too? Let me know down below. And as always, guys, if you are new to my channel, click the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.